I'm black, I'm a black Somali man, but my partner over here doesn't agree with me.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I'm not black, I'm not black.
Pardon?
I said, I'm not black.
You're not black?
No.
Interesting. So what exactly are you?
So there is this video of this young man. I think it is an interview of this young Somali man who actually denounces being black or his blackness. So he thinks he's Somali, and I think he also thinks he's African, but he is not black. So obviously this got the better of my curiosity, and I began to really want to ask myself the questions that matter the most, and that is, so what exactly and who exactly is black? That is the question I want to share with you today. Hello, my good people. Welcome back to the channel. I'm happy to see you. It's another wonderful time to educate ourselves, to empower ourselves with information and knowledge. So without wasting so much of your valuable time, let's watch this video of this young man. And at the end of this video, we'll have one or two we shall have learned or something to take home. So right here is the video.
I'm black, I'm a black Somali man, but my partner over here doesn't agree with me.
Really?
Yeah.
So
I'm not black, I'm not black.
Pardon?
I said, I'm not black.
You're not black?
No.
Interesting. So what exactly are you?
No, like if I was walking down the street and a girl was to see me, they should go, oh, look at that sexy light skin.
Yeah, but light skinned.
I don't think they'll say, look at that sexy black man. I think if they saw Ace, they'll say, oh, that's a sexy black man.
Yeah.
But if they saw me walking, they say, oh, that's a sexy brown skin or light skin.
But my point is, regardless if they say that's a sexy light skin, that's a sexy whatever. So to take away from that and say I am not black,
yeah,
that doesn't make any sense, because if you're not black, then you must be white or Asian or Latino.
What do you see when you look at it? Because this is black.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm the same color as my trousers. I would say I'm fairly fair-skinned, a bit lighter in shade. So I wouldn't say I'm black necessarily.
Respect.
I'd say if I'm filling out a passport form and they say, are you black? I say, they haven't given me much options, so I'll pick black. But,
Respect.
But I would say I'm brown.
Obviously, when it comes to saying that you're black,
Yeah.
there are different phenotypes, right? One of the phenotypes is called negroid, which means that you're black. And you have Caucasian, and then you have Asian. So if you were to be put into one of those phenotypes, you would be put into the negroid, which is black.
Okay.
So obviously there's different shades within being black.
Yeah.
But essentially, you would be categorized as black.
Yes.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? So then is it you saying that you're not black, that you're brown? Why do you want to move away from being in that particular phenotype?
Yeah.
It's not the fact that I want to move away from being black. It's just what I identify myself as.
As brown.
Yeah, I look at myself in the mirror and say, that's a handsome brown fella.
Yeah.
Not to say there's anything wrong with being black.
Yeah. Is there something within the culture, within the Somali culture, that makes some of them think that they're not black?
Yeah, a lot of them are confused in terms of what they really are, because they'll switch up one day.
Yeah.
I've got uncles that say one day I'm black, see them next week, I'm Arab. It makes no sense to me.
So obviously you went viral for speaking about the ethnicity of Somalis, and you basically saying you're tired of them saying they're not black. What led you to make this video?
It's because I was having an argument with my friend, and we were arguing about if Somalis are black. He was saying, yeah, I'm not black, I'm Somali, like you can be whatever you want, retata, retata. Obviously, I thought, you know what, I'm tired of this, let me bring this TikTok. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah. I want to touch on what you just said. He said, I'm not black, I'm Somali.
Yes.
So is Somali like a different race?
I think it is now. I think nowadays, Somalis identify as being Somali. And I feel like that's something we need to change as a Somali. I feel like we're black. I feel like we should be proud of being black.
Yeah.
And I think we should just support each other.
Wow,
I'd get
okay.
cancelled if I said what he said.
Okay.
But he said things about just he doesn't like being black, or he doesn't want to be known as being black.
What's the negative connotation with being black?
He thinks black is a character. That's what he thinks. That's what he was saying to me.
And what's the black character?
No, he said black was a behavior. He
Black
said.
was a behavior. That's what he
That's
said.
what he said.
So what's the black behavior?
It didn't make sense. That's why he done that video, because it don't make sense. How can black be a behavior? How can it be a character?
You said that you're brown. You're not black. Is that because you also believe that black is a character or a behavior?
No. I don't believe. I just think because there's a lot of people that are from different parts of the world that, in my eyes, could be considered black. I think black just fits. If you're black, you're black. I look at myself, I don't think I'm black. Yeah, I went through the comments of that video and they were saying stuff like, we're not black, we're Arab. And then people responded to that saying, how can you be Arab when Arabs don't claim you as their own people? They call you slaves, stuff like that. Some Somali were saying, we're African, we're not black. Some were agreeing with A saying, yeah, we are black. You know, so, but the backlash was mainly the two topics as either we're Arab or we're African.
Do you think that there are those people that think that way, that they are shamed to be called Africans?
Amazing question. I don't think they are ashamed of being called African. I just think they don't want to be named.
They just don't want to be black.
They just don't want to be.
I think they just don't want to be grouped, I think.
They don't want to be grouped, yeah.
There's probably just those that don't want to have this whole topic about, are we this, are we that? So they just want to say, as simple as, I am from where I am, which is Somalia, so I'm Somali.
But that's absolutely fine to say, I am Somali. But then when you take it and say, I'm not black.
I'm brown, like, that doesn't make sense.
It's just very confusing to a lot of people. And I think this is why this conversation's been going on for so long. In your video, you said, let the police in America decide if you're black.
Yes.
What did you mean by that?
If the police was to stop any of us, me or him, we're black.
Okay.
So they're most likely to do something. They'd shoot me. And they'd shoot you. They wouldn't care if you're brown.
No.
They'd focus on it, but you know what, there's a black man and I'm going to take advantage of a black man. They wouldn't let you go.
I do understand his point on that. Yeah. They would say, you know what, they are all black. I get where he's coming from, but I still identify as brown. Whether they identify me as black, that's up to them. But I'm not black, I'm brown. Life is not as simple as black and white.
When it comes to race and ethnicity, it kind of is as simple as that. It's either you're black, white, Asian. Do you know what I mean? You have like your Latina, those type of things. There's not brown. That's more like a skin tone, like more of a complexion. So for some people, those Somalis that say I'm not black, I'm brown or whatever, you're black because, well, in my opinion, of course, you're black because if someone was to see you, that's a black man. No one would say that's a brown man. That is like a subsection within black.
Okay.
It still sits under the umbrella of being black. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you can't just say, I'm not black, I'm brown.
But Somalis have opened their whole category for themselves.
Yeah.
And Somalis want to be
their own subject.
Black, white, Somali.
Yeah, that's exactly what it seems now.
Do you know what I don't understand here? I don't understand the people that say Somalis are not black. Yes, you are black. In fact, let the police in America decide if you're black, yeah? Wallah, I clock Somalis, yeah? Us Somalis, we actually have an identity crisis. Because one day we're not black. Like I'll be chatting to one of my Somali friends. He'll be like, yeah, he's black. Then I look at my other friend. He'll be like, no, I'm not black. Nigga, why are you then? Don't say the N word. Don't even say it. And do you know what comes as well? Yeah, it's the darkest Somalis that say they're not black. It'll be the dark ones. It'll be the darkest. No, I'm not black, bro. I'm not black. You know what? Yeah, who cares? Who cares if you're black or not? Wallah, who cares? Every black people use Vaseline. Every black. So why do Somalis use Vaseline? I don't see any Caucasian person using Vaseline in their face. So when you're writing your ethnicity on a job application, for example, it says black British, black Somali. The first word is black. So you guys are black. Please stop it, guys. I'm done with this. We are black.
I don't care if I'm the first person to say this, but us Somalis are not black. There's a difference between African and black. Let me ask you a question. Are Moroccans and Egyptians black? Tradition, our history, our culture are so much more different compared to these other countries that are actually black. Josh Bill, if you're not black, what are you? I'm Somali. Let me ask you a question. If you were to see a very dark Indian man, would he be identified as a black person or just an Indian?
Bro, come on, bro. You're making me really look bad. Now what the hell wrong with you, man? These children are crazy up in here. Listen, bro. If you have black skin color, you are black. You don't see my face. You don't see your own face. What's going on? Somalis are black. They are both African and black. They are African because Somalia is in Africa. And they are black because we have black skin color. Black is not an... Being black is not a race. It's not an ethnicity. It's a skin color. So if you have black skin color, you are black. I don't care what country you're from. India, Pakistan, Tajikistan. I don't care. It does not matter. If you have black skin color, you are just black. You cannot decide what skin color you have. You just have it. And that's it. These people you are showing and saying, these Moroccans black? These are not native Moroccans or Egyptians. These are the native Moroccans. Have you ever seen them? These are the native Egyptians. You don't see, and you will never see them because they don't show. They will never show you. You don't understand what's going on in this world. You're just talking. Learn. Don't just talk. Learn. Somalis are black, and ethnically they are part of Cushitic group. Afar, Oromo, Somalis, all this group. This guy is from Afar. It's an Afar guy. These guys are Oromos. I am a Somali. Do you see the difference? I don't. So I don't understand what you guys trying to find. You are just trying to be someone else. You just trying to be Arabs or something else. I don't understand what's going on up in here.
Whew. All right. So you've had that video from that young man, and you know, this is a liberal world, and people have opinions. But I think sometimes our opinions really need to be also informed. Like, really, there should be a good thought, a good research, maybe perhaps, before we really just hold an opinion. But I liked how that went down, and really it provokes the question, um, and what and who is black. And I want to say something first and foremost, that you see, our blackness, our beautiful blackness, essentially is two things. It is not just a racial identity, but it's also a political identity. I don't know if you really want to understand from that perspective. It is two things at the same time. It is both a racial identity and it is also our political identity. To make things clear, so I loved that at the beginning of that interview, he really wanted to draw a comparison between how he looks, the complexion on his face, and I think his trouser or his pants. And which, of course, he says the pants are black, but they don't look anything like his face or his complexion. And honestly, I do find that hilarious, and as much as, you know, also shocking. But it feels to me like it is from an informed point of view. Or just an ignorant point of view, you know, and not to attack him, but the ideology behind everything else. So when you compared how his cloth is black, that wouldn't probably ever match anything, would never find the root of blackness or even whiteness if we were really to do that kind of comparison. For example, let me just give a clear comparison. My headrest here is black. But to make things clear, I am proudly black. But do I look, does my face look like this? Or like this? Forgive the reflection, but this is a cover of my notebook. But does it look like anything similar to what my face looks like? Not at all. And I'm not really the darkest person, and I'm not really the lightest black person. Neither am I the darkest black person. But does that make me less black just because I don't look like this? No. And does it make me more black? Does this complexion make me more black than someone else, another black person of a lighter skin tone? No, not at all. So let's get this very clear. And that really the whole concept of blackness and whiteness, even if we were to look at whiteness, those people that call or categorize themselves as white, nobody really amongst them looks like this. This is white color. This page is a white colored page. But have you ever seen anyone with a face looking like this? Just to be clear, no. But does that make them not categorize or identify themselves as white? No. Because this is an identity, a racial identity, as much as it is a political identity. And I really wanted to understand where this whole concept is coming from. And of course, there are a few points, there are a few reasons here and there we can think of, really. And you know why some of our black brothers and sisters, because I have also encountered this elsewhere out of Somalia, in other different African countries, and especially the countries of Northern Africa to the Horn of Africa, to the far east of Africa, where Somali is. Somali is here, for your information, the Horn of Africa. And also, I have come across this from people in the Caribbeans, some Jamaicans denouncing their blackness. What could be the reason really behind this? And one of the very main reasons is colonial and Arab influence on racial terminology. Now, I want us to break this down. So, blackness has been really has been attached. I can say the term blackness has been attached to sub-Saharan Africa. So that is why you find that the people up the desert of the Sahara, in northern Africa, countries like Morocco, like Libya, Algeria, Egypt, coming down to as far as the Horn of Africa, want to really think that because they're not a part of sub-Saharan Africa, then they do not really associate them, call themselves, see themselves as part of the sub-Saharan Africa. Then another thing is there's a connotative meaning that is given to that blackness, which is attaching it to enslavement or slavery or slave trade, just to be precise. And it's not a good thing. That's not a good thing. Everybody's trying to distance themselves from it. But, inevitably, it is part of our history. So, undeniably, that is part of our history, So, trying to put yourself away from the slaves or something, unfortunately, but that is our history as Black people, and that happened to us. And probably the best thing is to accept that and, look into what else can be done about it, instead of denying it. And again, there's also sort of a connotation to link blackness to lower social class, lower social status. And of course, as a human being, as an egoistic human beings, you do not want to accept to be part of a lower social class. And maybe another thing is a colonial divide and rule tactic. Of course, the colonialists sowed us a seed of division in Africa with the aim of achieving their goal. Get this very clear. Their goal. The goal wasn't to benefit any kind of African, be they of a darker skin complexion or a lighter skin complexion of black. No, but the goal was to divide and rule us, to divide so they can get to achieve their goal. And this went so as further as even this is how they used to divide people. Some Africans, like in the cases of colonial time Sudan, where Africans of lighter skin tones used to get elevated status compared to uh, same people from the same place, same country, over darker skin complexion. Because what essentially these people were driving at, the colonialists, was to make sure there is division in between us. So then it can be very easy to handle us as a divided people. And then something else I can think about is ethnic and national identity being more pronounced over the racial identity. And this, I want to say something now. Many Africans, especially in the continental Africans, primarily identify by their ethnicity and nationality rather than their race. And the thing is, black identity, black being a sort of identity in Africa, is not a big deal. And the only reason is because in the continent of Africa, everybody is probably black, or a majority of people. Let's say everybody in Africa is black. So there is nothing, nobody really stands out from blackness, you know? Now, the only other thing people get to categorize and group themselves now become their nationalities and ethnicities. So that's why you find people thinking that they're Kenyans, they're Somalis, they're South Africans, Nigerians, Ghanaians, Egyptians, etc. All of those countries according to those borders that were actually also drawn by the colonialists. Take note of that we did not draw the borders themselves. Now we try to really identify ourselves with the nationalities or the countries, the various countries from which we belong. This only means that now then the black identity sort of categorization of people doesn't really pop as big when it comes to continental Africans, for the reason that everybody else is really black. So there is nothing really to show by you identifying as black, because after all, then the question is, if you think you're black in Africa, so who is not? Because I really believe that all people in Africa are black, and anybody in Africa, that's from my perspective, anybody that is not black and thinks he's an African are just those people that are trying to force themselves into us, into our continent, into Africa. But essentially, that they are not really black, because blackness, maybe from a Western perspective, is anybody that is African or has African descendants. Like we can talk about African Americans, Afro Caribbeans, Afro Europeans, etc. Of course, that is really what blackness from a larger perspective should actually entail. But from my personal perspective, my point of view, I think embracing our black identity serves as a unifying factor, especially against anti-blackness agendas and racism, of course, and colonial legacy. And really, our unity is our strength. That's why I really strongly feel that blackness, in as much as it is our racial identity, it is also equally a political identity for us. It should be from this point that we regroup as a black people. Forget about your nationality. This is how I identify myself. First and foremost, I am African. No, in fact, I am black. Then I am African. And then now I can narrow down to becoming a Kenyan. And then my tribe and my clan really comes. You know why? Because it is our blackness that really matters right now in such a politically sensitive and divided world. And until we really beat this division, this seed of division that is being put sowed in us, then we're really always going to be divided. And this is going to disadvantage all of us. Those that think they are black, more black than those that think they are less black. I mean, this is a point, a wake-up call for us to know that even those that call themselves white are not anything like this. But it is their political identity, it is their source of unity. It is their point from which they regroup and become a strong unit that claim who they really are, where they come from. So why don't we play by that script? Because that is how it's going. Because now I love that the man was asked the question, like, from a racial perspective, you're not white and you're not Asian. So who are you if you think you're not black? Really? See, the only thing with the Arab influence is you find that people like the Somalis really feel like they're so Arab. But from the Arab world, they're getting pushed away. They felt like they're too African to be Arab, too black to be Arab, you know. So there's really an identity crisis growing, strongly growing. And not only for Somalia, but countries in the northern part of Africa, whereby they feel like they're not African, but from wherever else that they feel like they belong to, they're not also accepted really as Arab enough. And by the way, just to bring to your notice, I think we need to also educate ourselves that, see, whatever exists in the northern of Africa today was heavily influenced by the invasion of Arabs into Africa during the spread of Islam, bringing the spread of Islam and the growth of the Arabs. Going back into history, into the Nubian kingdom and Kemet, then we would really find the true Egyptians, the true Berbers of Morocco and Algeria, you know. And then that is when we really can really get to see who the true people of North Africa, without the influence of the Arab world, really who these people are. So that is what I had for you in this video. Thank you for sticking along all this time. I'd really love to get your views about this. Maybe you can leave me a comment, give this video a thumbs up, and share this video with your friends and your family. And if you have not subscribed to this channel, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Check out our other interesting videos and be part of this strong family. So until next time, I will be happy to see you in the next video. Peace out.